Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can already tell by the title, it's a little bit late for this. I feel like it was a video I probably could have and should have made a couple of weeks ago, and it was a nice midway point of the season, probably during the January break especially. But it was brought to my attention on Twitter yesterday. Somebody posted a photo of my pre-season predictions. Before the season kicked off, I predicted where every team would finish first through 12. And the nightmare scenario I had with one of the teams in particular. Now, I'm going to go through and I'm going to react to what I have placed now, and we're going to kind of do a midway sort of reaction to this and talk about each team one by one. I'll spend roughly 1 or 2 minutes in each team, talk about how it's panned out compared to what I said at the start of the season. And we'll see how things have changed and how wrong or how right I was about those predictions at the start of the season. Now, I know a lot of people just want to watch the channel for Celtic content, but it's Scottish football. We all love it. We all like to rally around it. So let's try and give every team a little bit of something here. Let's try and, big them up a wee bit if I can. Some I'm just going to have to slate horrendously. But if you do enjoy the video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. As I said, we're going to go through each team 1 or 2 minutes very quickly, so we're not here all day. Enough dilly-dallying. Let's get right into it. So for 12, I predicted it was going to be St Mirren, who, aren't too far off it. They're sitting above the bottom of the table, Hearts, by about 3 points at the minute. But they have taken me by surprise this season, the way St Mirren have gone on and tried to play football. They've not been an easy team to beat at times for a lot of opposition around the league. Now, going into the season, I just thought with the scenario that they got in last year, losing Owen Kearney, he left, and I just thought there was going to be a lot of rebuilding needed done, and I didn't think they were going to be good enough to stay in the top flight. But with the way they've played and the signings they've made as well, there is no need, or there's no reason, that I think they could finish bottom now. They're sitting 10th, and I do think by the way they're playing, they will stay up. Hamilton and Hearts are the two teams that are going to be battling them down there, and out of those 3 teams, right now I'd favour St Mirren out of the 3 of them. So maybe I was a bit harsh on St Mirren. Maybe I looked at it a little bit too bluntly. But on paper at the start, they didn't look like the best. And I guess they're not sitting in the best position right now. They've not won in their last 5 or 6 games. So, do you know what? St Mirren, I wasn't too far off for this point in the season. But 26 games in, they've still got a game in hand over Hearts and Hamilton. So they could extend that lead over them. Just depends how that goes. I wasn't too far off, to say the least. For 11th, I predicted Hamilton, where they currently sit right now. I've got this one spot on for 27 games into the season. And it's a position that I put them in every year, to be honest. I don't think they're a team or a club that has got the facilities and the players to stay up in the Premiership, but somehow every year they manage to do it, and this year they're still trying to give it a good run for their money. And once again, a team who haven't been too bad at points, especially the way they've played recently. It's like they've been playing like they deserve something, they merit a result, but they just can't get it over the line, and they just can't get that final, bit. In the final third, they're really lacking. And they leak goals at the back a lot as well. I guess that is just a combination for disaster and a combination to go down. But somehow they always manage to pull it out the bag and stay up, and they just get that result once in a while that manages to keep them in the division. This year I do think they'll finish rock bottom. At this point, I think Hearts have got the play. I mean, they're not showing it, but Hearts have got the players to kind of stay up to get themselves off that bottom spot, and I think Hamilton will fall down there. It hasn't helped with the situation. Brian Rice getting that 10-game ban as well, so it's not been the best season for Hamilton. And as I say every year, I hope they go down, because there's no room for plastic parks here, and I imagine there's a lot of teams in the Championship who would benefit being up here with a grass pitch. So apart from that, I do think that I was maybe a bit too kind, because now I'm thinking rock bottom for them. But once again, not too far off, and right now I'm correct. One of the teams I was very far off the mark with was Livingston. I predicted they would finish 10th at the start of the season, 10th, and they are currently sitting 5th in the league, being one of the most impressive teams to watch. Not so much for attacking flair or goals, whatever, but they've just been so well organised strategically. They have been, a fantastic side. They've been so hard to break down. Seen it firsthand earlier in the season when we went over to the Tony Macaroni and they managed to beat Celtic 2-0. So they're no mess, they know what they're doing, they're sorted, they're strong, and the manager over there, Gary Holt, has just got a fantastic little system going for him, which will probably get him a bigger job in the country in the near future. You look at the likes of Aberdeen and Hearts, who are probably crying out for a managerial change, and they seem to be doing so every 2 or 3 months. He could easily take a step up with the way he's been at Livingston this season, 5th in the table, and by quite a bit as well. They don't show any signs of slowing down. It doesn't look as though Hibs are in the position to maybe overtake them anytime soon. A top half finish is there. It's on the cards for Livingston, and this year they have been nothing but a surprise. It's been the kind of Cinderella story of the league. Really surprising stuff. Lyndon Dykes has been terrific for them. Big Marvin Bartley in the middle has been terrific. And I thought they were going to finish 10th in the table. I thought they were going to be that low down because, you know, they lost core players. They lost players down the middle of the squad as well. That backbone. They lost Halkett, who went to Hearts. They lost Kelly going to QPR, their goalkeeper. But they've improved. They've recruited well. They've got some good players in. They even lost Big Menga. He's now back, of course. But you know, they've been so good, and I mean that is really hats off to the manager, because his tactics have kept them in such a good position this season throughout, from week 1 right until this point. So Livingston, fair play. I doubted you. Another one I stand correct with just now, 2 so far out of the 4 we've spoke about, is Ross County. I had them for 9th, they're currently sitting 9th. They're kind of the quiet team. There's not much to say about them, I feel like. You know, they're here, they just came back up, and they want to stay up. And they look as though they could do a job of it. You know, once again, a team that could easily be pulled down to that bottom area of the table. But, you know, they're doing the business in the games that matters. They make it tough to play at Dingwall. There's not much to say about them. As I say, I feel like they're the really quiet team. They just do the business when they need to. They do go through patches of bad form. I feel like recently they haven't been as good as what they were maybe at the start of the season. But you know what? They're sitting 9th. It's where I predicted. There's not much else to add. They are that kind of bland team. Sorry, Ross County fans. It's just the way it is. Here we go. 3. This is it. We're doing okay here. St Johnstone I predicted for 8th, and they're currently sitting 8th. But by the start of the season that they had, you know, they looked as though they could have been the team that's going down. And fair play to Tommy Wright, because he's turned things around terrifically. And as of recent, you know, their form has been pretty good. They've turned it around big time. Despite the start that they had being so shocking, being terrible. It's once again Tommy Wright showing why he's done such a job there for years. You know, he knows what he's doing. He works with the very limited budget and facilities that he's got. He gets the team playing, and the confidence has changed massively at St Johnstone. And you can see that against the bigger teams and the smaller teams. They really do pose a threat at times. Now, the recent example I have from first-hand viewing was when I went up for the St Johnstone game at McDiarmid Park with Celtic. And yes, the first half defensively we were absolutely shocking, but the second half, you've seen how difficult they can make it for teams to play against them. They were really solid when they need to be. And I think if they started the season much better than what they did, they'd be in a far better position right now, probably pushing into that top half. It was just the start of their season was nightmare stuff. And, you know, at one point I did say they were going to be the team to go down by their opening kind of 10 games to the season. But fair play, they've turned it around big time. 8th place is where I imagine they'll sit around towards the end of the season. I don't think I'm far off with it. Right now I stand right, and I think I could be right as well come the end of the season. Another one I kind of got drastically wrong. I had 7th place Motherwell. Now, looking at it, they have had a terrific season. I just didn't think they would have been good enough to get into the top half. But Stephen Robinson, once again, season by season, you know, you think he loses like his best players and such, but no, he brings in the right people. He does a job with them, and then, you know, look at the example of James Scott. Just sold them for £1.5 million, but they'll still move on from this. They'll still do well, and they're sitting 4th right now, competing to get that 3rd place finish. And I fancy them to finish 3rd in all honesty. So giving them 7th was probably a bit harsh of me at the start of the season. But when you looked at it then, I didn't think they had the squad to compete with the likes of Hibs and Aberdeen and obviously Celtic and Rangers, but they make life difficult for any team. They're very physical, they battle hard, they've got good support behind them as well. And Stephen Robinson, I'm very confident of him being the man to take them to a 3rd place finish this season. They obviously want a cup run as well. Whether they get it or not is a different story. But right now, they have no complaints about their season. Just brought in Tony Watt to maybe strengthen the attacking depth as well. They've got a good, solid squad there, and I do think that they'll stay in the 3rd position. Giving them 7th was really harsh. Well, they're 4th just now, but I think they'll move up to 3rd. I think they'll finish the season 3rd, but I was far off the mark giving them a bottom half finish. Fair play, Stephen Robinson, another one of the managers who's proven me wrong, along with Gary Holt, and a manager who'll probably be once again a shoehorn. That's not a shoe in, it's not a shoehorn, a shoe in. What the hell am I saying? For a bigger job sometime soon. A bloody shoehorn, what was that for? For 6th place, I had Kilmarnock, who obviously lost Stevie Clark. That was the big sort of conversation at the start of the season. I did think they would still finish in the top half despite that, because they had good players. Obviously, they did lose the likes of Greg Taylor, who has now came to Celtic, but I thought they'd struggle, and they have a little bit. And I didn't think they'd be back up. You know, they finished 3rd last season, a position that they'll probably never be able to tap into again unless they brought in a manager the calibre of Steve Clark. But Alex Dyer was Steve Clark's number 2, and you can, especially of recent, see kind of, you know, little glimpses of that Steve Clark side there in the way that he got Kilmarnock playing. The start to the season was hard with Alessio. They got rid of him. But as of recent, you know, they've won 3 games in the bounce. Probably lose to Hibs today. They're currently down 2-1 as I make this video. But, you know, they've turned their form around well, considering that they were floating in around the bottom half for a while. They lost 7 straight under Alex Dyer, keep that in mind. But 3 in the bounce. He's got them playing again. I mean, they're not far off the top half. I had them for 6th. I do think they will finish in the bottom half, but they're not far away. For 5th place, I had Aberdeen. I did see this as a season that they would struggle. I didn't think they would be able to compete with Celtic, Rangers, Hibs, and the team I had in 3rd, but we'll come on to. But you know what they're doing? They're doing what they do season by season, aren't they? They just, they have that kind of slump, and people say, "Oh, McInnes needs to go. It's been too long. We've had him here forever. Nothing's changing. We're not going to be improving. It's just the same old, same old." But you know what? They can't really complain too much. They're sitting 3rd in the table. I had them for 5th, so things could have been a lot worse if it was me that was in charge. But you know what, they'll probably finish in that 4th position. I think, as I said, I fancy Motherwell to be the ones to go on and finish 3rd. We'll see what happens when it comes to the split, but he's made some good improvements to the squad. Obviously, Derek McInnes bringing in McGeoch, bringing in Kennedy in January, 2 of the key players that was brought in. But I don't know, there's just something about them this season that's been funny. I can't put my finger on it, and I can see the Aberdeen fans' frustrations. I mean, they've not got too much to complain about, as I said, they're sitting 3rd, but I do understand the frustrations. It's been a bit too long for McInnes to get away with poor results, no cups. Maybe it is time for change. As an Aberdeen fan, you'll obviously feel a lot more passionate about it than I do, but I mean, I said 5th and they're currently sitting 3rd, so I was a wee bit off. But will it still be 3rd place for Aberdeen come the end of the season? I don't think so. Hibs I had at 4th, and they started the season, of course, with Paul Heckingbottom, who was sacked when they were 2nd the bottom. Things have improved big time for Hibs. They're now back up into the top half. Jack Ross has been a magnificent appointment. Still a tad of inconsistency there with Hibs, as it seems to be every year. You think they're doing well and then everything falls apart. They really are an inconsistent side. They need to improve on that. And I think Jack Ross is showing that is happening. He's a manager who's got players playing their best. You look at the way Boyle and such have been playing recently. It's been absolutely terrific from Hibs at points. So, I mean, sitting 6th right now for them is disappointing, but when you look at the position they were in before Jack Ross was appointed, it could have been a lot worse. They could have been in a similar situation to their crosstown rivals. So, I think they'll be very happy with the direction the season's went in, considering the start, but they'll be looking to build on it next year. And I was a bit generous giving them 4th, but I did think they had the players and the facilities to be up there. But the start of the season just ruined it completely for them. And as I said earlier when we were talking about Livingston, they are a bit behind. So if they could get back to being in 5th or 4th spot this season, it's a bit far away. But Jack Ross, there's a reason I think that you could get behind him. He's showing the signs. He's got the players playing really good attacking football. They just need to sort it out at the back. Hearts, this is the one. This is the one I was pulled up for on Twitter. I said they'd finish 3rd this year. They're currently rock bottom with a disastrous season. Stendhal, they thought had them back as the chant went. Doesn't look like it, and things just every week you say to yourself, surely Hearts can't go down, but then they lose. Or they drove Hamilton this weekend. They went 2-0 down at home to Hamilton, and they were lucky to get a 2-2 draw. A 90th minute goal from Big Halkett. It's a mess at Tynecastle at the minute, and I don't know why I was so confident in them, considering Craig Levine's incompetency and history as a manager, but I did think they'd finish 3rd with the signings they made. It looked as though they had a really good squad at the start of the season. They had Naismith, they had Halkett, they had Suter, they had good players around the field, and it's just been a disaster. And will they stay up is the question. I do think they will, because alone the signing of Liam Boyce I feel like could solve a lot of the problems, but there's so many questions as to the way they're playing football, as to the results, the management, the players' attitude. There's just so much wrong there this season that they could genuinely go down. It's been a disaster of epic proportions for Hearts this season. I do see Hamilton sitting below them at a point. It will be the split that decides it for Hearts, but wow, how far off I was with giving them a 3rd place finish. Second, I predicted Rangers. It's where they are. Let's just do this in the one. Celtic have won the league. I said it in the channel this week, and I'm going to stick to it after today's result, beating Aberdeen at Pittodrie. A champion's performance. We slugged it out. We weren't great, but we got there. We got there in the end. It was a real attitude of champions. Rangers have collapsed post-winter break. Yes, they won today against Livingston, a 1-0 win. Solid result once again. If you can slug them out, that's what matters. But they're too far behind at this point, I think, for Celtic to have that form of collapse of the form that we've been on. So, for the 1st and 2nd place, I did think confidently Celtic would go on to win 9 in a row, and it's been proven post-winter break. Rangers, on the other hand, I spoke about it a lot in the Talk Scottish Football podcast. In December, you could never have pictured this happening going into the winter break, but Rangers' collapse has been, devastating for them. And Celtic have took advantage of it, and we've been in the form of our season. This is the best run of form we've had. The league form has been absolutely terrific. We're scoring goals for fun, and we're top of the table for a reason. Because of how good we are, and it's a champion's attitude that's got us there. Rangers, are in a terrible state, and they need to sort it out. Maybe the win today against Livingston is the kind of tailspin, and it changes it around for them, but I think it's too much, too late. for Rangers at this point, and Celtic should be going on to win 9 in a row. That's the reality of it. That about does it then. I've tried to fire through as quickly as I can. Obviously, I'd love to sit here and give 5-10 minutes on every team, but I'd be here all day, so I've had to try and keep it brief. If you have enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Hit like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts to my thoughts and my pre-season predictions as well. Let me know how you think they've went and yours, how they went as well. It's been a bit dodgy this year, hasn't it? But it's been a great season. There's still a bit to go. Obviously, I say this a bit late. We'll react to it come the end of the season, but right now, I think, you know, Celtic are top of the table. That's what matters, isn't it? Anyway, see you all next time.